Earlier this morning, David and Marian already told a bit about Indonesia, Mulyono, the new art movement. That was the time when the term performance art not yet used widely. I think here like Rahmayani and Heru also already practicing it at that time. And now I'm talking about the era where the term already established, so to speak. And I'm gonna tell you a story about two artists. First is Tisna Sanjaya. He's his specialization is actually in printmaking, especially in etching, and also he do installation, performance art, and recently he more engaged in social activism. I think the path that you all are familiar with. And this particular case, I think, is the urban example. Here is a demonstration occurred in 20th May of 2013. It's about a city forest in the center of Bandung. It's called the Siliwangi Valley, the Babakan Siliwangi. So since the beginning of 2000, there were rumor about changing in this city forest to become commercial area, either shopping mall or apartment, or we don't actually know for sure, but the news was that the local government, the city government already gave the permit to the developer to build the environment, that is the environment. So since the 2000, a lot of protesters, the arts community, the environmentalists, and so on, make protests, make a lot of event in this valley in order to keep, to maintain this city forest. Ray told me we've already 5 minutes, yeah, because I have two artists. So then we can say that the May 2013 was the peak of the demonstration. I was there. I joined this demonstration, but the thing is, I didn't realize before I see this video. I didn't realize that Tisna actually make another layer. He wasn't present in this demonstration only as himself, but he also present himself as the Kabayan. There was it's still going the program in local TV station. It's called the Kabayan. Kabayan is a Sundanese mythology character. I think we can compare it to Mr. Bean. You know, that kind of character. The how do you call it? The innocence, great sense of humor, but in many ways criticize our own way of thinking or our way of life and so on. That kind of character. So in this program Kabayan, and Tisna is the Kabayan, he presenting many problems in the cities, and he questioning the problem. He presenting the problems in the Kabayan way, the sense of humor and the questioning our way of thinking, that kind of way. So when he was leading this demonstration, this protest in the Siliwangi Valley, he also present himself as the Kabayan. So that demonstration is a part of the TV program. That's why he used this kind of outfit with that kind of hat, with that black outfit, because that is the costume of the Kabayan. So he present to the TV viewers, blah, 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 about this problem of this city forest. And then he went on to the stage and, leading the demonstration. So when I was there, I saw him as Tisna, as the artist, as the leading figure of activism in Indonesia and so on. I didn't realize that he was also the Kabayan at that time. So for me, this is an interesting case where an artist, a prominent artist like Tisna, he used his reputation, his charisma, so to speak, to present a social issue in more artistic way, I think. In the notion of this artistic way, it's also so this typical fence usually occur when in that particular area is going to start a construction, that kind of thing. So people started to make painting on this fence, this corrugated iron. And then as a part of the demonstration, people took off the fence and treated us painting as an artwork. And they, see like that. And we used this kind of ceremony, the ritual, to bring this corrugated iron, painted corrugated iron, first to the city hall, and to present our petition about this city forest to the local government. And then afterwards, this corrugated iron exhibited in a gallery as an artworks. And so also as a part of, said this him leading the protest, the demonstration. From here, from the city forest, we marched to the city hall about 5 kilometers or so. And this is a part of the government official in front of the city hall. We gave them the petition, and then in the exhibition at the gallery, we also made some discussion, and at that time we were about to elect our mayor, and so all the candidates of the mayor came to the discussion, and they actually signed the petition, make the promise that they will keep the city forest, if they elected as the mayor. And it happened. The current mayor keep this city forest. So that is the story about Tisna, how he become more and more engaged in daily life. I think that's one point from Tisna. Okay, and the other one I'm gonna present to you about Yoyo Yogasmana. Some of you have been knowing him for years, and I think some of you also heard how he now live up in the mountain. He's now a part of a village, an old village called Cipta Gelar, and practically it's actually a kingdom. The leader, this guy is the leader. We call him Abah, which literally means grandpa or father, but he's actually the king. He's actually the center of everything. I went up there 3 weeks ago to interview Yoyo and took some images. And actually, to make this presentation, I have to ask permission from the king. So even I already got recorded the video and everything. I cannot present to you if the king didn't give me the permission. So Yoyo is a performance artist. He's trained. His degree is in visual art. Before he also worked as a painting instructor and some other job like event organizers. And he joined a lot of performance festival around the world, Toronto, New York, Japan, Finland, you name it. And then since 2008, he decided to move to this place called Cipta Gelar. Is a part of the Mountain Halimun Natural Reserve. So it's a national park, and it's in the West Java. And this community has been existed since 1368. One thing about this community, all their ritual, their daily life is very full of ritual, and all their ritual is very centralized to rice. This guy is taking rice. For Indonesia, well, actually, this is a very Java Island point of view. Rice is the center of our life. Rice is our main food. If in your house, if you still have rice, then you are okay. You are okay. So that's the determinant factor of our health. How do you call it? Prosperity. So there are some 20,000 souls live in this community. And they only harvest rice once a year, but they have food enough for the whole community for 3 years. While Indonesia, the whole Indonesia, harvesting rice 2 or 3 times a year, but we only have food enough for like 6 to 8 months. And they've been doing it at least since 600 years ago. So that is a proof that they're doing this so-called sustainable system. They have, I think they more like rich country where the government can provide basic needs to the whole citizen. I think you can say that if you are a part of that community, you will have a house, and if you have a house, you will get supply for rice and so on and so forth. But in order to do that, you have to accept the system. Like I just said, that I have to ask permission from the king just to make this presentation. In this sense, I accepted the system. I accepted the kingship, the kingness of this guy, this Abah Ugi. So first time Yoyo became a part of this community, he was in charge for the TV station. This is the uniqueness of the Ciptagelar community. They don't reject the modernity. They have the TV station, radio station, they have internet connection, you can do the Facebook over there. And they even built their own electricity resource. I was a part of the 1998 movement when we kicked out Suharto from the presidency. And the same time, 1997, 1998, the people of Ciptagelar were making their own electricity source, the turbine with water power. They were making it at the same time. When we were in Indonesia, in Jakarta, in Bandung, we were protesting the military dictatorship regime. Okay. So that was his first job, in charge of the television. Nowadays, he's more like the spokesperson of the community. Last year, he went to the Netherlands for the a seminar about food production, and in there he is presenting the Pranata Mangsa, the traditional calendar, which is the way they decided when to start the planting season and so on and so forth. So it is the base of their production system, this calendar system. So inside the community, Yoyo is in charge to present their own daily life to the locals. And also he's like liaison officer for outsider to get inside. And also he's the spokesperson for the community. So in a way he has to formulate the image of this whole community. And I think he can do that job. He can take part of that job, and he can take part of that community as an artist. He formulates the whole thing in an artistic point of view, so to speak. So more or less that is my presentation. I hope you can get a glimpse of the, I would say, the current development of performance art in Indonesia through these two figures. Well, we have another figure from Indonesia. We have Rahmayani, Heridono, and Aliansa, and Kristiawan. They are all here, and we're gonna have the oral history session later. So we're gonna have more perspective on that later. So that for me for now. Thank you.